Okay folks, this will be a challenging one. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, if it's going to look any good. It's got potential, as I said. I did say that, if I remember correctly. Sorry folks. It's getting hot now folks. Soon the insects will be coming in, and I've got to activate my bug sprayer on the wall that I bought about a few weeks ago now, in anticipation, because I've got holes in my fly screen courtesy of fucking stupid dumbass cockatoos, white cockatoos or sulphur crested ones. Pain in the ass, but what can you do? Enough of that. This is what we're utilising. We're utilising this Colgate toothpaste wrapper that I found on the street find. I didn't buy this time. I usually buy, when I buy toothpaste, I normally buy home branded stuff, like Coles branded. I haven't got, it's too expensive buying Colgate and other premium brands. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting, and I like the way that's made a reflection in there. I'm going to make this into a move it again, and going to try and give this part a bit of a curve, a bit of a warp. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to be tricky. So we're just going to dispose this in the recycle bin, but I found it on the street. I do find a lot of things on the street, and I like to use stuff that's been found. It's cheaper. I haven't got much money. I'm getting really low on revenue. It's really difficult trying to make ends meet when you're not rich, and when everything's going up in price relentlessly. It's really difficult trying to just make sure that you've got enough money for the basics. And even then, you know, like, you still need more things. Like when you're talking COVID, most people now have become used to having hand sanitizer in their house, and I'm no different. So I've become accustomed to having hand sanitizer. And what if I think to myself, what if I can't afford it? You know what I mean, folks? So it's really difficult trying to afford things that have become like essentials, especially when you're talking COVID, when COVID's become a problem and you become so used to taking certain precautions. Fortunately, with masks, I use a reusable mask. I don't use disposable ones, only if I really need to, like when I get my hair cut and I'm going into a hairdresser and I expect that I'm going to have to wear a mask. I don't like going without masks in public indoor spaces. I really get the horrors thinking that I could end up with COVID when I haven't got... It's really difficult dealing with this COVID shit. So, you know, you need things, and things that you never used to use. Hand sanitizer. It's become just so prevalent. So that's another expense that I've got on my shoulders, you know, now that I've become used to having hand sanitizer. And that's come up looking a treat, actually. Even though it's a little bit on the minimalist side, I do think we could utilise that. Or maybe this version looks better. I'm going to use that one. But basically, yeah, I've become so accustomed to using hand sanitizer. It's just become natural, just become second nature that I have to keep a supply of it, and I worry, what if I lose, what if I get so low on budget that I can't afford the luxury that we've now become so accustomed to of hand sanitizer. So, you know, it really does get to be a bit of a worry, folks. It's a bit of a worry, and you know, we shouldn't worry, folks. Worry is not productive. I'm trying to teach myself not to worry, that somehow everything will work out just fine. Everything's going to be just fine. I try to keep telling myself, folks, I try to keep telling myself that no matter what happens, it's all going to be okay. It's going to work out in the end. It's going to work out, folks. I've got to think positive. You know, fuck the negativity, folks. I've got to think positive. I've got to think everything's going to be just fine. Just believe. Just believe. Believe that something good is going to happen. You are going to go on television. You know, that Channel 9 will show my material, that they will eventually come around. They'll see the persistence. They'll see the gritty determination. That this will become a positive thing, and that they will see that and they'll play my material. I've got to think of that, folks. I've got to really, really, really ram it into my psyche, folks. I've got to really just bring it home that I'm going to make it, no matter what. Look at all the poor people who've become rich, you know, that you hear about. They've gone through even more grinding times than this. You know, even the man that invented the modern photocopier, Chester F. Carlson, he lived in grinding poverty when he was, not just when he was a kid, but even as an adult. He lived in grinding poverty, and look what he created. He created Xerox. We all know how big Xerox is, or became. I think I watched an article on the on YouTube saying that Xerox is on its way to bankruptcy. I don't know, is that true? Because the same channel produced another video saying that IBM is bankrupt. I don't know if this is true, or if this is conspiracy theory or rumours or something, or maybe this channel just wants to make trouble. I don't know, but basically, but that aside, the man was worth millions of dollars, and he went from rags to riches. So I got to believe, and it took him like 25 years to get there, at least. So, you know, you got to be positive, and he was positive enough to do it. You know, he was positive. Chester F. Carlson, Chester Floyd Carlson, that's his full name, Chester Floyd Carlson. Look him up. Xerox, Xerox, Xerox. So yeah, you got to think positive. I've got to think like how Xerox became when they finally defeated the odds. So got to be positive, folks. I've got to think positive. And that's come up looking better than I thought. I think we can now call this demo quits.